Welcome to the Metaphysics Podcast. I'm your host, Dennis Goddard.
And I'm Louise Hicks.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into heart-brain coherence.
Have you ever felt totally in sync?
Like the universe was on your side?
Nah.
That could be heart-brain coherence
Yeah.
in action.
It's where your heart and brain are totally in harmony.
Yeah.
And that creates a powerful synergy.
We're going to explore this through the research of Dr. Joe Dispenza.
He's a leading expert in neuroscience and human potential.
So his work shows that heart-brain coherence.
This isn't just some feel-good concept.
Right.
It's backed by science.
Yeah.
And has potential to unlock incredible possibilities.
So what is heart-brain coherence?
Well, think of it like your heart and brain are always sending signals back and forth.
Right.
When those signals are aligned, that's coherence.
Okay.
It's like an orchestra playing in perfect harmony.
I like that.
Every instrument is contributing to this beautiful sound.
So Dr. Dispenza's research shows that when we achieve this state of coherence, amazing things can happen.
For example, his studies have found that maintaining heart-brain coherence for just 10 minutes can lead to a significant reduction in stress hormones.
Wow, how much are we talking?
A 40% reduction.
It's huge.
It is.
Yeah.
And it doesn't stop there. Coherence also boosts your immune system by an incredible 50%.
Wait, are you saying 50% improvement in immune function just by getting our hearts and brains in sync?
That's the power of coherence.
Wow.
But here's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
They found that coherence can increase the brain's pattern recognition systems by 300%.
So you're more attuned to opportunities, more aware of synchronicities,
Exactly.
more likely to manifest your desires.
It's like you're tuning into a frequency where the universe can hear you.
Now, some of you might be thinking this sounds a bit too good to be true.
Right.
Is this just another new age fad?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Dr. Dispenza's research is rooted in rigorous scientific methodology
Okay.
conducted at prestigious institutions.
So this is the real deal.
His findings have been published in peer-reviewed journals
Wow.
and replicated in multiple studies.
Okay, so the implications of his work go beyond just feeling good.
Absolutely.
They suggest that we have the power to influence reality.
Through our thoughts, emotions, and intentions,
So it all comes down to the heart's electromagnetic field.
which is 5,000 times stronger than the brain's.
5,000 times stronger.
When we achieve heart coherence,
Yeah.
this field becomes more organized,
Like a powerful beacon
transmitting our desires.
into the quantum field.
Exactly.
So if you've ever had that gut feeling that you were meant for something more, that your potential is far greater than you've realized, heart-brain coherence might be the key.
It's about tapping into your innate power to create a life that is truly aligned with your soul's purpose.
I like that, but here's the thing.
Okay.
Most of us are walking around with brains that are wired by past experiences,
Right.
creating neural networks that can keep us stuck in old patterns,
It's like a record player stuck on repeat,
playing the same old song.
over and over again.
So even if we consciously desire change, our subconscious mind might be holding us back.
That's right. These neural networks are formed through repetition.
So every time you think a thought or react in a certain way, you're strengthening that particular pathway in your brain.
Like walking the same path in the woods day after day.
It becomes the easiest, most familiar route.
And sometimes those well-worn paths
Yeah.
lead us to places we don't want to go.
Like patterns of self-sabotage, limiting beliefs.
Negative emotions.
But thankfully, our brains are incredibly adaptable thanks to neuroplasticity.
Which means we can actually rewire our brains.
By consciously choosing new thoughts, emotions, and behaviors.
It's like forging a new path in the woods.
At first, it might feel unfamiliar, but with persistence.
You can create a new pathway that leads you to a more fulfilling destination.
And that's where heart-brain coherence comes in.
It gives us the power to interrupt those old patterns and create new ones that are aligned with our highest potential.
So how do we do that? How do we cultivate this state of heart-brain coherence and harness its transformative power?
How do we get our hearts and brains on the same page, working in perfect harmony?
Stay tuned, because we're going to dive into some practical techniques in just a moment.
But before we do, take a moment to reflect. Have you ever experienced a time when you felt deeply aligned and things seemed to effortlessly fall into place?
Share your experiences in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the mysteries of the universe. Welcome back to the Metaphysics Podcast. We're exploring heart-brain coherence.
And as we were discussing, this state of harmony can unlock some incredible possibilities.
Yeah, it's not just about feeling good. It's about tapping into a power source within us that can transform our lives and maybe even reality itself.
So now the question is, how do we actually cultivate the state of coherence?
Yeah.
How do we get our hearts and brains on the same page?
That's the million-dollar question. But luckily, Dr. Joe Dispenza and other researchers have developed some practical techniques that we can all use.
Yeah, and the great thing is these techniques are simple to learn and can be integrated into your daily routine.
So where do we begin?
One of the most fundamental practices is gratitude.
Gratitude, the attitude of thankfulness. But how does that relate to heart-brain coherence?
Well, when we focus on what we're grateful for, our attention shifts from lack to abundance, from fear to love.
And that shift in perspective actually creates a change in our energy.
Exactly. We start to emit a higher frequency of vibration that is more aligned with the universe's natural flow.
So it's not just about feeling good, it's about aligning ourselves with a powerful, energetic force.
Precisely. And the more we practice gratitude, the more we strengthen this alignment.
So how can we make gratitude a more integral part of our lives?
One simple yet effective technique is to keep a gratitude journal.
Okay.
Each day, take a few moments to write down 3 to 5 things you're grateful for.
It could be anything.
Big or small.
From the roof over your head to the smile of a stranger.
The key is to really feel the gratitude as you're writing it down. Let it fill your heart and expand outward.
That makes sense. Another powerful technique we talked about earlier is visualization.
Ah, yes, visualization.
Yeah.
This is where we get to tap into the creative power of our minds.
So it's not just about daydreaming, it's about consciously using our imagination to create a blueprint for our future.
Exactly. And the key here is to make it as real as possible.
Okay.
Engage all your senses
wow.
in the visualization process.
So if you're visualizing your dream home, don't just see it in your mind's eye.
Also feel the warmth of the sun streaming through the windows.
Okay.
Smell the freshly baked bread in the kitchen. Hear the laughter of loved ones filling the rooms.
Wow.
The more vivid and multisensory your visualization is, the stronger the signal you send to the universe.
So the more you embody the feeling of your desired reality, the more you attract it into your life.
And a great way to keep those visualizations front and center is to create a vision board.
Ah, yes, the classic vision board. I love this idea. It's like a physical manifestation of your dreams.
Exactly. Find images and words that represent your goals and aspirations.
Okay.
And arrange them on a board that you can see every day.
And put it somewhere you'll see it often, like in your bedroom or office.
That way you're constantly reminding yourself of what you're creating and keeping your energy aligned with your desires.
Now, we've talked about the power of the mind, but what about the body? Does our physical well-being play a crucial role in coherence too?
Absolutely. Our bodies are not separate from our minds and spirits. They're all interconnected.
So taking care of our physical health is essential for maintaining coherence.
Exactly. When we nourish our bodies with healthy foods, get regular exercise, and prioritize sleep, we're creating a foundation for optimal well-being.
It's like tuning up an instrument before a concert.
Right.
We need to make sure our bodies are in tip-top shape so they can play the beautiful music of coherence.
And speaking of tuning up, don't forget about stress management.
Right. Stress is a major energy drain.
And can throw our whole system out of whack.
Yeah, so it's crucial to find healthy ways to cope with stress.
Whether it's meditation, yoga, spending time in nature, or listening to calming music.
Whatever helps you relax and recharge.
Make it a priority.
Yeah, because when we're chronically stressed, it's much harder to achieve and maintain heart-brain coherence.
Exactly.
So to recap, we've talked about the importance of gratitude visualization, creating a vision board, taking care of our physical health, and managing stress effectively.
These are all foundational practices that can help us shift into a more coherent state.
But remember, coherence is not a destination.
It's a journey.
It's something we cultivate through consistent effort and practice.
And the more we practice, the easier it becomes.
So what happens when we hit those inevitable roadblocks? Those moments when we feel resistance, doubt, or fear creeping in.
How do we stay on track?
Yeah, how do we navigate those moments of resistance?
One simple yet powerful technique is to place your hand on your heart.
Just like that.
It is, and yet it's incredibly effective. This gesture sends a signal to your nervous system that you're safe and loved.
It's like we're giving ourselves a hug.
Exactly. And while you're holding your hand on your heart, take 3 slow, deep breaths.
This helps to calm the nervous system and shift us out of that fight or flight response.
And once you're feeling a bit more centered, you can remind yourself that this resistance is temporary,
Like a wave.
that will eventually crest and subside.
And the more we practice staying present with our resistance, the less power it has over us.
So it's about acknowledging the resistance,
Yeah.
but not letting it control us.
We don't need to fight it or push it away.
We can simply observe it with compassion and allow it to pass.
Now, we've talked a lot about cultivating coherence, but I'm curious about the receiving end of things.
Okay.
How does our state of coherence actually impact the manifestation process? How do we go from intention to reality?
That's a fascinating question. And it turns out that our bodies are literally designed to receive abundance
Okay.
when we're in a state of coherence.
Now, I'm really intrigued. Tell me more.
When we feel genuine gratitude, joy, and love, our brains release a cascade of beneficial chemicals like dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin.
The feel-good hormones. I knew they had to be involved somehow.
But it goes deeper than that.
Okay.
These positive emotions actually signal our genes to activate what Dr. Dispenza calls prosperity proteins.
Prosperity proteins. That sounds intriguing. What are they exactly?
These are proteins that enhance our capacity to receive abundance on a cellular level. They literally change how our cells receive and process energy.
Wow, so our bodies become more receptive to abundance when we're feeling good.
Precisely. And this is reflected in measurable physical changes.
What kind of changes?
People who maintain heart coherence often experience improved posture, a more resonant voice, clearer eyes, and even a reduction in biological age markers.
It's like our entire being transforms when we tap into this state of coherence.
It truly is a remarkable phenomenon, and the more we understand the science behind it, the more empowered we become to create the lives we desire.
So we've talked a lot about cultivating coherence.
But now it's time to get practical.
Yeah, let's dive into some specific techniques that we can use starting today.
All right, so let's go back to gratitude.
Gratitude. We all know it's important to be thankful. But how does gratitude specifically relate to heart-brain coherence?
Well, when we focus on what we're grateful for, we're not focused on lack and scarcity.
Wow.
We're focused on abundance and appreciation.
So it's changing our perspective.
Exactly.
Seeing the glass half full.
And that shift in perspective impacts our energy. When we feel grateful,
Yeah.
our hearts open up
Yeah.
and we radiate a higher frequency.
And then that higher frequency attracts more things to be grateful for.
Exactly. It's a positive feedback loop.
So make gratitude a daily practice.
Start a gratitude journal, write thank you notes.
Just take a few moments to reflect on the things that you're grateful for.
And it doesn't have to be anything major.
Right.
It could be something as simple as appreciating a beautiful sunset,
Or a delicious meal.
a kind gesture from a stranger,
The key is to cultivate that sense of appreciation.
for the simple joys in life.
Okay, so now let's talk about visualization.
Visualization is so important.
Yeah.
It's about using our imagination
Right.
to create a clear picture of the future that we want.
It's not just daydreaming.
Right.
It's about consciously and intentionally using our minds.
to shape our reality.
I like that. And the key to effective visualization is to engage all your senses.
Don't just see your desired outcome.
Right.
Also hear the sounds, smell the scents.
Feel the sensation.
Yes, and
Yeah.
even taste the flavors.
The more vividly you can imagine it,
Yeah.
the stronger the signal you send out,
To the universe.
and the more likely you are to manifest it.
Now, a great way to keep those visualizations front of mind
Yeah.
is to create a vision board,
Yes, the classic vision board.
a visual representation of our dreams and goals.
So gather images and words that represent your goals and dreams.
Arrange them on a board,
Put it somewhere where you're going to see it every day.
in your bedroom or office,
So you're constantly reminding yourself of what you're creating.
and keeping your energy aligned.
We've talked a lot about the mind, but we can't forget about taking care of our bodies.
Our physical well-being is connected to our emotional and energetic state.
If we want to cultivate coherence
We need to nourish our bodies.
with healthy foods and exercise and prioritize sleep
These are all essential.
for well-being
Absolutely.
and stress management.
Stress is a major energy drain.
Yeah.
It can really impact our ability to achieve coherence.
So it's important to find healthy ways to manage stress.
Meditation,
Yoga,
spending time in nature,
engaging in hobbies.
taking care of your mental and emotional well-being is just as important as your physical health.
Now, I know all of this sounds great,
Right.
but do these simple practices really make a difference?
The answer is yes.
Right.
It requires consistency.
Okay.
It's not about doing these things perfectly.
Yeah.
It's about making the effort to incorporate them into your routine.
So think of it like building a muscle.
The more you practice, the stronger those neural pathways become.
And the easier it becomes to maintain that coherence throughout the day.
And remember,
Yeah.
you're not just transforming yourself.
Okay.
Your coherent energy impacts everyone around you.
We talked about the studies that showed one person's heart coherence can influence the heart rhythms of others.
So by cultivating coherence,
Yeah,
you are contributing to a more harmonious world.
I like that thought. It makes you realize that we each have the power to create positive change.
So take what you've learned and put it into practice.
Experiment with these techniques and find what works best for you, and watch as your life transforms.
Remember, you are a powerful creator.
Your thoughts, feelings, and intentions.
They shape your reality.
So choose to align with love, gratitude, and abundance.
And watch the magic unfold.
This has been an awesome deep dive into heart-brain coherence
We hope you've gained some valuable insights and practical tools.
to create the life you desire.
And if you enjoyed this episode of the Metaphysics Podcast,
Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with others who might benefit.
and we would love to hear your thoughts and experiences with heart coherence.
Leave a comment below.
Until next time, keep exploring
Keep growing.
and keep shining your light.
This is the Metaphysics Podcast signing off.